In this video, we're going to talk through some statistics vocabulary. So in statistics, we have a population that we're trying to find out something about. And since the population is something that is a large group, like a group that has something in common, often referring to a group of people. So a good example is all the students at our school. And we want to know something about students at our school. So say we want to know how much time on average do our students at our school spend on social media. But we can see that gathering up all students at any school is difficult because students are absent, they have appointments, they might be doing something that day. So instead, we work on gathering what we call a sample. A sample is a smaller group of members of a population selected to represent the population. And in order for our statistics to be something we can use, they must be random. And we'll talk more about that in the next lesson. But let's say we put all the students' names at our school in a list, and we use a random number generator to pick 55 students from the list. They've all had an equal chance of being chosen, so we know we have a random sample of 55 students that represents our population, which are all the students at our school. And then we want to find what is the true average or mean time that students spend on social media each day. But it's very difficult to ask all the students at our school, which would give us the parameter. So instead, we use our sample, which is our 55 students, and we ask each of them, how much time on average do you spend on social media each day? And that gives us the statistic. So a statistic comes from the sample, and the sample represents the population, so it helps us to estimate what the parameter would be based on what we're able to gather and we're able to find out. So in summary, a parameter is a statistic, A parameter is a characteristic of a population. A statistic is a characteristic of a sample. So notice I have color coded them here. These are in blue. Population goes with parameter, P and P. And sample gives us a statistic. So the S goes with the S. Inferential statistics enables you to make an educated guess about a population parameter based on a statistic computed from a sample randomly drawn from that population. So in summary, again, down here is a nice visual example. We want to know something about a population, but it's always very difficult to gather your entire population. So instead, we gather a random sample where each member of the population had an equal chance of being chosen. So our sample represents the population well. And then we're able to find out something about that sample, and it helps us to infer or make an inference about the parameter, which is what we're really looking for. So that is the basic idea of how statistics work. We can't gather up a whole population. So we get a good sample, we get a statistic from that sample, and that helps us to estimate what the parameter would have been if we were able to find it.